So this morning we have a 2010 Volkswagen Tiguan. It's here for a problem with the heating system. They said poor heat on the passenger side and overall poor heat on the driver's side as well. I got the heater fan on high. I noticed there's no illumination on this. Auto. Oh, there's the temperature. I couldn't see that in the dark. There we go. So 25 high and high. Let's put it on max on both sides and see what we get for heat. So I've had it running for about 5 minutes. Just brought it in from outside. It's pretty cold. And shooting the temperature of the vents here, it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit on this side. 88 over here. Let's try that one over there. 83, 80, 83. So it's hard to see the heater hoses on this thing because they're covered with insulation, but I'm going to have to try to get at them to see if the heater hoses are the same temperature. Plus we have to check to see if the thermostat's opening prematurely, maybe. So I'm using VCDS on my Veris. Let's try a network scan of this thing. Pick up when this gets to the end. So after going through a network scan here, the Climatronic system reports fault code 00716 air recirculation flap positioning motor. So if the fresh air door is open on the passenger side, it might be letting cold air in. It seems to be blowing warm air out of the heater. Fuel pump relay open, short to ground. Function restriction of seat occupant recognition. Function limitation due to under voltage. Supply voltage terminal 30, steering assist. Probably due to just basically cold temperature. Date 2015. That's interesting. Two faults found. Parking brake, auto hold, under low voltage. Radio antenna fault, base speaker fault, satellite tuner fault, door rear left, no fault code, no fault code, no fault code. Well, we're going to save this report and then go into the climate system. So doing a keyword search on Identifix for 00716, which is the fault code, 00716 air recirculation flap position motor, turns up nothing. So I'll try searching for air recirculation flap or recirculation flap. Try that. No, that's check engine light. Turbocharger recirculation valve. No, this is not an ECM code. Well, I'll do some searching around, see if I can find any other cases on this. So I believe I'm looking at the status of the fresh air door. The fault code labels it V113. But here it says air flap control motor G113 potentiometer. I can't find any other one labeled 113 in the memory blocks. The heater seems to be blowing heat. I think there's a problem with the fresh air door stuck open or something. Now I'm graphing the status of the door. So as I was saying, I believe this G113 is the air flap control motor. Here it says V71 G113, yet on the fault code it says V113. There's no other one. Oh, there it is, but it doesn't come up. Air recirculation flap control V113, potentiometer G143. Maybe it doesn't come up because it's currently out of range. Well, let's go and clear the code. Let's see. Done. Go back. Fault codes, coding, basic settings. Clear codes 05. Done. Go back. Read fault codes again. No fault codes. Done. Go back. Measuring block. Now, which one was that again? There it is. We still got no data though. I wonder if that potentiometer has failed. See, the problem with Volkswagen Diagnostics is the fault code that we had, that 00714, is in their scan tool, and the guided diagnostics are part of their scan tool, and VCDS is great, but it's limited. I went on the Rostec forum here and looked up the fault code that I was looking for, and I can't find it. Alright, well, we're going to go inside the cab and listen for that motor, see if we can hear it physically moving. So I ran an output test on this thing and it appeared to go through all the modes. Let's go back and see if it set a fault code, and no, it did not. So let's see if we have access to specific controllers. Selective. Next to begin. It doesn't allow me to do selective outputs. You can hear the heater blower ramping up. You can hear mode door switching inside the cab. I don't have it running. I have a battery charger on it to keep the battery from going flat. Actuating motor for temperature flap. Activate. Oh, cool. So we can see it actually switching. So the temperature flap left seems to be working. Okay, let's go on to the next. Temperature flap right. Activate. Seems to be moving. Airflow flap. I can hear that switching inside. Defroster flap. The fan just came on my battery charger. Positioning motor for central flap, V70. We're looking for V113, which is the fresh air door. I can hear that motor switching. I can hear the airflow changing. AC compressor regulator valve N28 280. Fresh air blower. I can hear the fan blowing. And that's the end. Did I miss it? Temperature flap. Temperature flap. Airflow flap. Defroster flap. Positioning motor. And then the AC compressor regulator valve. How come it doesn't have control over that one? Something's weird here. Blower fan. Well, let's go back and see if it said any fault codes. No fault codes. Well, I'm going to go in the cab. So I'm going to see if I can hear this thing switching. Stupid fan running on my... I'll wait for the fan to stop. So I've removed the glove box. And there's the fresh air door. Right now it's in the recirculation mode. According to this, it's lit up. So if I press the button, it actually closes. So it's working now, but I don't know why it doesn't operate when you use the scan tool. And that's the actuator right there. Unless it was stuck in the... If that is stuck open like that, it would draw in air from inside the cab through the heater blower motor. Don't put your fingers in there, that's the blower fan turning. So I can't see anything wrong with this door flap. It's working just fine. I'm going to command it on and off with the scan tool and see if I can get it to respond. See which one it shows it as on the VCDS software. So airflow flap positioning motor V71. You can see that it's going through the cycle now. So I'm not sure what's going on with this thing, unless that flap was stuck. There's a mechanical binding in the door when it was stuck. It's not setting any fault codes now. It's going through the normal motion. Well, we're going to have to do a service on this thing and take it for a road test. So I'm going to use the clear all DTC command. Start out with a fresh slate. I've got a recording of all the codes. Then go back. Probably need to cycle the key off for a few seconds, but it usually says so. Looks like there's a code in the radio. Status malfunction 10. Well, we're going to go ahead and do a service on this thing, and then we'll do a service reset. I think that's service reminder interval reset right here. Select an option. Reset ESI and oil North America or rest of the world, service them later. North America, fix ESI. I think this one is what we want. Perform service reset. Now obviously you don't want to do this without doing an actual service. We're good to go. Done, go back and exit. I took this car for a road test, and I noticed on this spot in the heater right here on the passenger side there's a duct that points down right here, and it's blowing cool air, but over here it's hot. Over here it's hot. On the passenger driver's side it's hot all the way across. So I don't know what this little duct is here. this one right here. Now I see there's some kind of a control in the glove box here, and I don't know what that's for, but I'm going to find out. Some kind of a dial with a snowflake on it. Doesn't appear to control airflow into the glove box. Or has it got a cooled glove box? Looks like it. Yeah, that just, there's a duct on the back of the glove box. But there's something going on with the heater controls. The flaps are moving properly, but this one on this side is considerably hotter than the one in the center right here. That's strange. I think I might see the problem here. Look at the bottom of that cabin air filter duct right here. The air is actually coming out of here. So this housing, this air filter housing, is not installed correctly. I thought it was coming out of this vent, but it's coming out of here. So there's where the cold air is coming from, because that's fresh air before the heater. So the problem is this little door is warped. You can see how crooked it was. It wasn't in on these tabs on this side. So I'm going to take the heat gun and try and straighten this out because it's warped. But that's where the cold air is coming in, right there. Because this is on the... I took the cabin filter out and it looks pretty decent, so somebody recently changed it, or changed it last summer. So I managed to straighten it out with a heat gun. You can see it's straight now. So it slides to the right and straight down to come out, and it wasn't pushed in correctly at this end. So this part of the heater housing was leaking cold air. So we'll get it in there now. So now it's sealed correctly. So hopefully you don't have any air leaks out of there now.